In this video, we're going to discuss finding solutions to linear equations. So the ordered pairs that we discussed and plotted in an earlier video actually represent the solutions to a linear equation in two variables. So by plotting these solutions and then graphing the equation, we can actually create a visual representation of all of the solutions to a linear equation. But before we get into finding solutions on our own, the first thing we want to do is determine how to decide if an ordered pair is an actual solution to an equation. So in our first example, we want to look at 5, 0, 1, 2, and 11, 3, and determine if they are in fact solutions to the equation x minus 2y equals 5. Well, remember that in an ordered pair, the first number always represents the x value or the x coordinate. The second number always represents the y value or the y coordinate. So if we want to determine whether or not they are a solution to the equation, we simply plug in the x and y and then determine if we get a true statement. So let's start first with A. So in place of x, we're going to plug in 5. In place of y, we're going to plug in 0. And then we're going to test to see, do we get a true statement? So in this case, we get 5 minus 0 equals 5. That is in fact a true statement, so 5, 0 is in fact a solution to the equation. So now let's test out B. In B we have 1, 2. So again, we're going to plug 1 in for x, we're going to plug 2 in for y, and we're going to test to see, does that equal 5? So we end up with 1 minus 4 is equal to 5. Well, we can quickly see that that is not going to be true because negative 3 is not equal to 5. Therefore, we say that the point B, 1, 2 is not a solution to the equation. And then last but not least, we have point C, which is an x value of 11 and a y value of 3. So I plug 11 in for x, plug 3 in for y, and test to see if I get a true statement. Now, you'll notice that I am putting the question mark over the equals because I'm not saying that it's true. I'm testing to see if it is in fact true. So in this case, I get 11 minus 6 is equal to 5, which is a true statement because 5 does in fact equal 5. So that tells me that 11, 3 is a solution to this equation. Now, each real number has a corresponding value that makes a linear equation in two variables true, so there are an infinite number of solutions to a linear equation. For example, in our previous example with B, if we had changed the y value to a negative 2, then we would have ended up with 1 plus 4, which is in fact equal to 5. So then it would have been a solution. So in order to find the solutions, we're going to choose x values and then solve for the corresponding y value that gives us a true statement. Now, eventually we'll be able to choose our own values, but let's look at an example first where we are given specific y or x values to test, and we are looking to solve for y. So we want to find 5 solutions to the linear equation 2x minus y equals 5 by completing the table below. So you'll notice in this table I've simply given you the x values and we're going to solve for the corresponding y values. So let's start with x equals negative 2. So I'm going to come over here to my equation. I'm going to plug negative 2 in for x. I'm not going to plug anything in for y because right now we don't know what the corresponding y is going to be. That's what we're trying to solve for. So I end up with negative 4 minus y is equal to 5. I need to get so now at this point I'm just solving a linear equation in one variable, right? So I move the 4 by adding it to both sides. However, notice I'm not quite done because the y is still negative, so I need to divide both sides by a -1 to get y completely isolated. So when x is -2, y has to be -9. So the ordered pair -2, -9 would be one solution to the equation 2x minus y equals 5. So now we're going to repeat this process for all of the x values that we've been given, and we're going to find their corresponding y value. So the next x value we're given is -1, so 2 times -1 minus y is equal to 5. We're going to solve for y. So 2 times -1 is a -2 minus y is equal to 5. Add 2 to both sides. And we get -y is equal to 7. And again, we don't want the y to be negative, so we're going to divide both sides by -1. And we get that y is equal to -7. So when x is -1, y is equal to -7. Now we're going to solve for when x is 0. So again, we're going to plug in 0 for x, and then we're going to solve for y. So 2 times 0 minus y is equal to 5. So 0 minus y equals 5. 0 minus y is just -y or minus y. To get the y positive, we divide both sides by -1. And we get y equals -5. So when x is 0, y is -5. Now let's try when x is 1. So 2 times 1 minus y is equal to 5. 2 minus y equals 5. Subtract 2 from both sides. So -y equals 3. Divide both sides by -1. And y equals -3. So when x is 1, y is -3. And then the last solution that we want to find is when x is equal to 2. So we plug 2 in for x. So 2 times 2 minus y equals 5. So 4 minus y equals 5. Subtract 4 from both sides. -y equals 1. Divide both sides by -1. And y equals -1. So when x is 2, y is -1. So what we now have are 5 ordered pair solutions to the linear equation 2x minus y is equal to 5.